What is one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they enter the ring, the cage, the pit, whatever you're fighting in? One common error that so many people make, where if I could talk to them and go, please stop doing this, it's gonna save your brains, it's gonna save you from potential losses. This one bit of advice could save you guys. So make sure you tune in. Intro first though. So don't get me wrong, there are so many things that people can do that are incorrect, which are gonna put them in more dangerous situations in the fight. It could be mistakes that happen while you're actually in there. It could be an hour before while you're warming up. Big mistakes can happen there. It could be through the whole training camp where you're making loads of errors. But if I had to boil it down to one thing that really concerns me, especially when we see new people fighting, guys who have just gotten in the ring, but don't get me wrong, this also happens with high-level pros. We're talking about super quick knockouts. Being prone to super quick knockouts. Why is a knockout gonna happen in the first 15, 20, 25? It could be even less than that. I mean, we've seen UFC fights where people get knocked out in under 10 seconds. Why is this happening? Well, at a beginner intermediate stage, it's usually because people want to get out of there as quick as possible. They're nervous, they're scared, they step in, oh my God, I don't want to be here, and they're just gonna charge out and try and get that KO. The problem with that is you put yourself at so much risk of getting KO'd yourself. Why is that? Well, first of all, you're not thinking clearly. But second, you have not even had a chance to assess this guy's skill level. How hard he hits, how fast he is, what his counter abilities are like, all of that is undetermined. That's why in the early stages of the fight, you're best off using other tactics. And we're gonna talk about those after we get through this initial stage here. And a quick reminder to everybody that we're in the middle of a giveaway. You can get entered, win an official Karate Combat gi, plus a pair of the fight shorts. These are going to be sent directly from me to you as a holiday gift. Big thanks to everybody who is subscribed to the channel. But as I already mentioned, this is not just lower level fighters who are making this mistake. Even people in the UFC who either get emotional or just get out there and they just lose their train of thought for a quick second. They're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to test the waters, get in there a little early. These guys are making mistakes. The upside of being a beginner or intermediate is when you do rush out and you do have somebody on the other side who's not a super high level pro, they're more likely to miss. They're not gonna land their shots because they don't have that pinpoint accuracy yet. So even if you do charge out and you're trying to finish the fight, the chance of the person actually landing a big clean shot is less than that of a high level fighter. But still, why would you wanna put yourself through that risk? And hopefully you've been training really hard and hopefully your cardio, your skill level, your timing, all of that is superior to that of your opponent. The longer the fight goes on, the more those attributes will start to assist you, but they don't help early on. So yes, this to me is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a fighter. Rush out and try and get the fight done before you have taken in information, before you've made some calculations on your opponent. Let's make sure we touch on how I like to enter. A couple things that I'm going to do to make sure I stay safe until I get a good read on my opponent. Number one, when you come out and touch gloves, be aware that the fight is on. And if you come out and you're just like, okay, touch gloves, they could legitimately hit you. It's not good sportsmanship, but nobody is gonna go, oh, that was cheating and this guy wins the fight. No, you lost the fight. So when I come out and I touch gloves, I have this shoulder up, this hand up, I'm out, and I'm ready to pull my head back if I need to, because I don't trust that guy. I'm not sure what he's gonna try and pull, so protect yourself in those initial seconds if you're gonna go for a glove touch. After that, I regain my distance, I get my hands up, and I just start some movement. Just moving around, just getting a sense of what this guy wants to do, because if he rushes at me, I need to be ready to pull back. But I don't want to appear timid, so I'm gonna make sure that I stay relatively close, and I'm gonna fire off a couple techniques that I know are almost counter-free. I don't have to worry about somebody clipping me in those first 5, 10, 15 seconds. For instance, if I throw out a jab, I have everything tight, my stomach's tight, and I throw out a jab, and I keep the shoulder really high, that's my first one, boom, I'll be fairly safe. If I see this guy fairly heavy, I'll go for a low kick, a nice long one. I'll keep my hands up nice and high, so the counter opportunities are very small. And then from there, I might step in and throw a combo, but I'm not gonna lunge forward. I'm not gonna let my chin raise. I'm not gonna put 100% power into it, because the whole time I'm focused on defense. I'm thinking, okay, if this guy throws at me at any moment, he comes for a counter, I wanna make sure that my hands are up, so the first shot I take is off the guard. And from there I can start going, on a scale from 1 to 10, he hits about a 7. I can deal with a 7. And then I might back up and give this guy an opportunity to actually attack. He throws some shots, I do some parrying, take him off the gloves, maybe even take a low kick, but then I go, oh, when this guy tries to throw at me, his speed is a 6 out of 10. Okay, these are all good things. I can deal with this. Then I will start mounting a little bit more offense. Now this might sound like a long-winded game plan, but that amount of time that has just lapsed in the fight is probably 15, 20, 25 seconds. It's not that much. And I don't let them accomplish anything massive, but at the same time, I'm not trying to accomplish anything that massive. It's about stepping in there, getting a read on them. If I need to, make sure they respect me. I'm not gonna let them bowl me backwards. But again, to me, one of the biggest mistakes is thinking I'm gonna rush out in the first round and I'm gonna finish this fight in 15, 20 seconds, because at that point, in my mind, it's really 50-50. Skill levels have not been established. You're putting yourself at risk of being KO'd by a fighter who does not match your skill or the hard work or the dedication that you have put into training camp. So I would advise everybody on my channel who is thinking about fighting, who has a fight coming up, take whatever you feel is appropriate, that first 5, 10, 15 seconds, just to feel the opponent out. And never just charge in and think you're gonna KO your opponent in that short period of time. It'll come if you're better than them, but it doesn't need to happen immediately. So let's wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you appreciate this episode. I hope it helps you stay safe in your next fight and continue to rack up wins to your MMA, kickboxing, boxing record, whatever sport you are in. As always, guys, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another video.